All right, so these are some of the things that actually cost more in Merida, Mexico. So we're gonna start with grocery food items. I'm gonna say, just as a general rule, anything imported, any snacks or favorite foods that you are addicted to in the US, you can probably find it here, and we even have a Costco that has them in bulk for you. But you're going to be paying more than if you just go to the nearest grocery store and buy the local version of that item. But I was really shocked actually at the cost of things like bell peppers. Now, chili peppers, jalapenos, those are much, much cheaper here than you might find in the US. But for whatever reason, bell peppers and just some of those fruits are much more expensive than the normal priced items here in Mexico. And I was really, really shocked about bell peppers because I associate bell peppers and onions with tacos and fajitas and a lot of Mexican foods. And what I didn't fully realize till I got here, like I knew Taco Bell was not necessarily what I was gonna find, but I didn't realize just the differences between Tex-Mex and the foods that I'm finding here in Merida. So yes, bell peppers are gonna cost you a little bit more, not enough to stop me, but they will cost you more. And you're gonna find that in restaurants, you're just not gonna see bell peppers very frequently. Now, in our house, we actually don't purchase these because we have an allergy, but a 454 gram jar of peanut butter, which is a little more than 16 ounces, is gonna cost you somewhere between $4 to $5, probably closer to $4, like $4.20, let's say. Compared to in the US, for the same dollar amount, I can buy a 40-ounce jar of peanut butter. So 16, 40, and I'll note that it doesn't seem to matter what brand of peanut butter. We've got Skippy, we've got Jif, and then we've got some local brands as well, and they all seem to be the same approximate price. So Alex is really picky about cheese. He does not like American cheese. He likes cheddar, Swiss, Monterey Jack, Colby. But here in Merida, Mexico, all of those things are imported. In the US, a Sargento pack of cheese might cost me $2, maybe $3. Here, it's gonna cost you between $6 and $7. Same for a block of, let's say, Tillamook cheese, cheddar cheese. It's gonna cost you probably $4-ish in the US. Here, probably $8 or $9. So Alex is gonna talk about two things that cost more in Merida, Mexico.
I am?
Yes, than the US. What are two things that you know cost more here than the US?
Donuts.
Donut. First of all, what's the only donut that we like here in Merida?
Krispy Kreme and only the glazed.
And only the glazed. And normally in the US, what do we like?
Dunkin' Donuts, Krispy Kreme.
We like all of it. But here, the only one that tastes like an American donut, for lack of a better phrase, Krispy Kreme glazed. Anyway, a dozen Krispy Kreme glazed here cost 11 something. If we were to translate it, it costs 225 pesos and therefore 11 something dollars. According to my sister,
It doesn't cost that much.
yeah, we're not saying it's crazy expensive, but according to my sister in Georgia, hers cost 9 something. So
That's like $2.
I'm just saying, that goes a long way. Why does it cost so much more here?
It's $2.
All right, what's the other thing that costs more in Merida, Mexico?
I do not know. Legos!
Legos.
Yeah.
A $20 Lego in the US is gonna cost you about $30. That's how much more it is. It's a nice chunk higher.
$10, yo.
Porque. But I will say this, Alex, does it stop us from buying Legos?
Only you stop me.
So essentially, no. We purchased a decent amount of Legos here at a cost, at a premium. Now, electronics is also considered much more expensive here, but that does depend on the brand. It also depends on the quality you're looking for. So if you're wanting cheap headphones, you can find them. If you're wanting a cheap phone, you can find it. You can definitely find local versions, non-imported versions that are much more affordable. But if you are like, no, I must have the new 12.9-inch iPad Pro, in the US, that's gonna cost you not quite $1,100, whereas here in Mexico, it's gonna cost you over $1,500. So just know that if you care about the brand that you're getting, then you're definitely going to be paying for it. I will also note that with that increase in price, you're probably getting a better quality. Like an iPhone is gonna be a better quality than, let's say, a locally manufactured smartphone. And probably one of the more surprising, a liter of gas in Mexico cost yesterday 18.62 pesos, which is roughly 93 cents. If we convert liters to gallons, that would bring us to $3.52 a gallon. Now, depending on what part of the US you are coming from, this may actually not be that big of a deal. When we were in Washington State and even a little bit of the Montana area, gas prices were pretty steep. So if you're coming from that side of the world, maybe these prices won't shock you. But if you're coming from Georgia, where my sister says that today it is somewhere between $1.80 and $1.90, like, that's a pretty big difference. Now, while I don't have a vehicle here and I generally Uber everywhere, I do notice the gas prices, especially when I have to organize a private driver, because depending on the vehicle they have, especially if it's a larger vehicle, it's gonna cost more in gas. Obviously, the farther away I go and the nicer the vehicle, or more accurately, the more gas that vehicle guzzles, the more price I'm going to be paying for that private driver. While this is not an all-inclusive list, this is just some of the things. You're going to hear a lot of people say that it's inexpensive here, and it is, but in terms of cost of living, listen, I am paying less than $500 a month for my rent, but there are people paying $200 a month for their house. Those are rare and less common. And then there are those that are paying $1,000, even $2,000 for their rent. So just keep in mind that we have a wide range of incomes as well as lifestyles here in Merida, Mexico. So if you want to spend extra money here, trust me, the opportunities are endless. You have inexpensive hair salons and you've got the more expensive hair salons. You have places where you can get a relatively cheap massage, and you've got places that are, quite frankly, comparable to the US. So I just wanted to share that not everything in Merida, Mexico is inexpensive. You have certain things that you're not going to find cheaper than you would find in the US, and you've got some things that are going to be more expensive. But overall, generally speaking, oh yeah, this is a much more affordable lifestyle than I could ever have imagined in the US.